888-860-2366. Or you can log on to DominicaEliteRealty.com for all your inquiries and questions. Elite Realty Dominica, where exquisite living is defined by nature.
That's just how we roll. You know what
Let me tell you who I'm rolling with. I am rolling with the Dot Experiment. I don't know if you ever heard of them before, but the Dot Experiment is here to help you with all your cell phone and computer needs. The Dot Experiment is here for all your tech, all your software problems, whether it's the storage full, your laptop won't boot, or you're just tired of your current setup, or you're just looking for tech support. The Dot Experiment is the only way to go. Call them today, 404-259-1343, or you can email them at support@thedotexperiment.com for a free consultation. Don't waste your money buying tech stuff and tech software that you don't understand and don't know how to use. Contact the Dot Experiment, the professionals in fixing all your stuff, man. So before you buy that cell phone, before you get that computer, contact the Dot Experiment. It's the only way to go. I'm telling you, that's how we rolling over here.
tonight.
Give it to me, do it to me, give it to me. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. The way you make me.
Do you like music like this? That's right, I'm asking you. Do you like music like this? Then why have you not been to Sophisticated Saturday as yet? That's right, each and every third Saturday of the month, we call it Sophisticated Saturdays. Where we keep it at? Caribbeanlifetv Studios. 6254 Memorial Drive is the only place to be each and every third Saturday of the month. So if you want to celebrate your birthday, if you just want to come hang out and have some fun with grown people having big fun, Sophisticated Saturdays is the only place to be. It's brought to you by yours truly, DJ Reds, and my boy, Mr. B. Sophisticated Saturdays, every third Saturday of the month, 6254 Memorial Drive is where the grown people go and have good, clean fun. Every third Saturday of the month, man. The way you make me feel, I'm just going to have fun. I'll see you there, Sophisticated Saturdays. I got you.
Join us and let's celebrate 20 years when Mr. B and Peter presents the 20 years Mix and Mingle Anniversary Party, Any Color Edition. Friday, May 24th, Memorial Weekend, from 9 p.m. until at Front Page Events. Music powered by DJ Natty Samuel, DJ Red, Team Exclusive, and Unity Squad. Admission $30, more at the door. Tickets can be purchased at International Food Market, 3709 Covington Highway, T's Caribbean West Indian Market, 3269 Salem Road, and GT Paradise Caribbean Cuisine, 4208 Church Avenue in Brooklyn. For more information, call 404-468-6989 or 678-437-0069. It's the 20 years Mix and Mingle Anniversary Party, Any Color Edition, with a free 20th anniversary giveaway. Friday, May 24th, Memorial Weekend, from 9 p.m. until at Front Page Events, located at 8010 Rockbridge Road in Lithonia, Georgia.
Nah, last.
All right. It is Wednesday, and we are here live on Lifing with Coach Kimmie. I am Coach Kimmie. I have a couple of guests with me here today, but first, going to get the preliminaries out of the way. We're here live on Caribbean Life Radio. You can catch us on Live 365 app. If you would like to call in for questions, comments, and or suggestions, you can give me a call, 678-695-8354. If you would like to sponsor or do a donation, you can also give me a call at 678-695-8354. Call in during the show for questions or suggestions, comments, 678, that's 661-1819. Also, I can be seen on IG at LIFEN_KIMMIE. Also at IG HILL_Kimmie, KIMMIE. And you can go there to watch live, Heal_Kimmie to watch live. Also, you can watch on Caribbean Life Radio. All right. I thought you, yeah. Having technical difficulties, bear with me. Thank you. Had a little technical difficulties today, starting out. I have some guests with me today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, let them tell you how their day went, and then I'm going to tell you how my day went. To my right.
Hi, I'm Roscoe, and my day has been pretty long. Had a long day at work. I'm feeling kind of relaxed right now.
All right. To my left.
I'm Dominic. Today work was slow. It was extra slow today, so it drug out, but it's over with. I'm feeling good right now. Yo.
All right. My day was busy. My week has been busy. My life has been busy. I am busy. I am tired and busy, but I'm blessed and highly favored. Hallelujah. That part. All right, so we're going to continue from our topics last week where we were talking about toxic relationships. And I wanted to address the guys with this because I wanted to be able to let them have a voice, a platform. Because a lot of times, I know men sometimes may not feel like they have that voice or that platform where they can speak and say what they need to say. So, I did do some quotes, and I wanted everybody to look them up. Were you guys able to look them up, the different quotes? Because I wanted your opinion on what you think they mean, or what do you feel like they mean to you?
On the toxic relationship part,
Yeah, well, remember, I sent you the 3 different quotes.
yes.
All right.
Love hurts people, hurt people, hurt people, hurt people.
So what do you feel like love hurts mean to you?
To me, love hurts mean to me. It mean little simple things. When you care about a person, you want the best for them. And if something is going on with them, it hurts you just as well as it hurt them.
Okay. And what about you, Dominique?
I say it's true because eventually something's bad that you don't want to happen is going to happen eventually. So to an extent, it's like you're gonna get hurt because of it, only because you have feelings. So feelings ain't gonna always be good.
Okay. And what about the saying hurt people hurt people?
Me personally, I don't understand that. I know it's a cliche. I don't do cliches because to me, people just repeat it, and that what make it so powerful.
People repeat the cliche?
People repeat cliches.
Okay.
Me personally, I don't think a person set out to actually hurt a person, but it happens. So I wouldn't say hurt people hurt people. I wouldn't use that terminology. I just say a bad person, a person not mentally stable hurt people.
What about you, Dominique?
I think on that one, I agree with it only if they know that they're intentionally hurting that other person, then yeah, I can say that. But if they don't know certain things that they're doing is hurting the other person, then I can't necessarily say that hurt people because I said they don't to an extent know. But if they do know that, yeah.
All right, so for me, when I hear hurt people, then I do agree with that. And it can be intentionally and it can be unintentionally. And the reason why I say that is because if you're example, I'm in a relationship, right?
Right.
So it's a bad, abusive relationship that has become my norm, right? So this is the first relationship I've been introduced to. Right. So this is the first treatment that I've received, right? So I've missed the father figure in my life. Haven't had anybody to really, a male figure to show me love. So now I'm in the toxic relationship. I'm being hurt by this person. So then eventually whatever happens, I get out of the relationship, but then I move on to another relationship. And so now I might be bound to repeat the cycle, meaning I'm with someone else. So I've gained the pattern of yelling, fussing, acting out or whatever that I experienced in the previous relationship. Now I am doing it. That's where some of the terminology hurt people come from. And it doesn't have to be a relationship like boyfriend, girlfriend. It very well can be a child and parent.
Right.
So if that child has abuse, or if that child is in an abusive environment, and that's all they see.
When they grow up and they have a kid, they'll repeat the same cycle.
Or say I'm a male, right? and I see my mom getting beat by my dad.
Right.
So to me, that's normal. So now I'm I'm in a dating world. I never was told, hey, this is not the normal way, this is not the way things supposed to be. And so I act just like my parent did.
Right.
So that's where that term hurt people. That's why I said I definitely feel like it has weight, it has merit, and it is true.
Yes, I agree. Now, the way you explain it, I agree with you. There are some people that realize what they experience. They don't want to repeat that cycle. Like, I'm going to give you an example. I used to tell a joke. If I meet a female, I say I got 1,000, a lot of kids, a lot of baby mamas. So to me, if you want me, you're going to deal with all that. Mm-hmm. And but that come along with drama. So I would not want to be that way because I had uncles and friends that had a whole bunch of kids and whatnot, and I saw the things they went through, and I would not want to repeat that cycle.
Right. So seeing that yourself, you felt like and knew that it was wrong.
Right.
So you didn't want to repeat it. But what about those that don't?
I think they know. They just subconsciously, it's almost like an instinct. It's like, say, for instance, if, like you said, when you're in a relationship with your first relationship is an abusive guy, now you meet a guy that's not abusive, so it could be a simple argument, but you automatically on the defense because you think it's going to lead to where it was with the last guy. When all guys are not that way, so then it seems like you might initiate confrontation more because you're already expecting it. And a lot of things you do it out of like second nature. Mm-hmm. Not saying it's right or not saying you're wrong for whatever you do out of second nature. It's just when people, it's almost like an instinct, you automatically going to put up a guard or let down your guard in certain situations. Okay. Based on your feelings.
So that's where we did discuss also dealing with counseling as well. So that's where your counseling would come into play.
And I wanted to clear up from last week about the counseling thing. Anything going to make it better, I don't disagree with it. But what I was just being honest and telling you how men think, because I deal with men all day. I work with a whole bunch of men and how men think. Me personally, I think all the guys that was on the show last week, we all was saying the same thing, just different ways. And nothing is wrong with something that's going to make the relationship better if the relationship is worth working to be better. Mm-hmm. But like I was just being honest with you, a lot of men would say, okay, baby, I do it because they're trying to either calm the situation down or they're trying to appease her in some kind of form or fashion.
But you know what? For me as a woman, if I'm in a situation and I'm being told, okay, I will go just for you to appease me, as long as you go. Because here's my thing. You might be doing it at the moment to appease me, but what if you gain something during that? So for me, I'll take the appeasement. I'll take the appeasement for 10, Alex.
I got you. But if you don't know he's doing it to appease you, see what I'm saying, the man is not sincere from the heart doing it.
But he can become sincere.
That's true.
It's about knowledge. So still, I'm gonna take the appeasement for 10, Alex. And if we go, so clearly we're going because there's a problem.
So let me ask you this. If a guy just sit up and say, hey, okay, I'll go if you shut up. How would that make you feel? Be honest with me.
Well,
If you're going to stop fussing, I will go to counseling, baby. Please just shut up. Please let it go. Can you stop all the back and forth?
Well, okay, so right now, that's totally out of line. That's totally disrespectful by the deliverance. So now we're gonna go back to communication and talking and da 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 da. So if you're talking to me like that, yeah, for me, we're not even gonna be in a relationship. No, never mind.
Right. So,
But that's the extreme.
But yes, that could be extreme. But okay, he said, okay, baby, I'm gonna go to counseling. But most time, y'all still keep picking and keep.
Who is y'all? You can't. So okay. You can't generalize.
Women in general.
But you don't generalize. You can't generalize because that's like I can't say all men do this, all men do that. So don't generalize.
That's your opinion.
Okay. That's my opinion, and I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna ride that horse on out. What do you think, Dominique?
It could go either way. Like I said, mine is still if they know what they're doing, then yeah, definitely for sure. But it just different. I think different people bring out different versions or different levels of that toxicity or that level of anger or abuse or whatever you want to call it. But it just depends on the person. But if it's intentional, for sure, yeah, nah. Like I said, but some people don't know because they might have been in a relationship before where they did something that the other person didn't necessarily like or agree with, but because they never spoke up on it, they automatically think that that's okay. So if you don't speak on it, then and they keep doing it, but you know, if you don't, you can't really be blamed for
it. Okay. I can kind of see some of that, but then some of it, yeah. I think as an adult.
Can you give me an example of something that would mean? Because, give me an example of what we would go to counseling for. Give me an actual scenario.
There's many scenarios. You want. Okay, so we're dating, right?
Right.
Again, I have been in a normal relationship. I've had a normal childhood, normal whatever I deem normal. Okay, never been in an abusive relationship, never been around abusive situations. You and I started dating. Things are going good. We're doing real good. Then things start to slowly shift and change. Arguments escalate, a lot of fussing, some disrespect. So I suggest let's go to counseling.
You didn't give me a scenario. Me, what I mean is like this. Say, for instance, I stay out late.
Communication issues.
I got a gambling problem. And I'm talking about just give me.
You want a direct?
Yes, I want a direct. What type of situation would have us go to counseling?
Combative arguing all the time.
Communication.
What are you arguing about? I'm just saying. Give me an example of argument.
It could be anything. I mean, you want me to give you
two reasons why people go to counseling: money or infidelity.
That's not true. Okay, let me back up.
Or communication issues, because y'all we can't talk to each other, so we need a third party to help us be able to listen to each other or be able to understand each other. So
I give you an example.
I say those
I agree
three.
with you.
I give you an example. So you and I are. I'm in a relationship. We're arguing all the time. We're talking, trying to relate to one another, but we're having communication problems, just like Dominique said. I say that I want to buy a business, right? So we're supposed to be going into business together. There's a misunderstanding in regards to the funding of the business, of said business. And the funding doesn't affect you, it affects me. However, the situation escalates. So now it's money and communication. So we're going back and forth, we're arguing about it. We can never come to a base agreement. But the argument and the arguing sets in resentment on one or both parties. So now there's other things thrown into the mix.
I hear you.
So because of that, I suggest let's go to counseling, because now we're not communicating like we used to. We're not talking like we used to. There's resentment on one or both parties' part. There's something that's tearing us apart.
So let me ask you this. Like I heard you say arguing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, if y'all argue all the time, y'all don't need to be together.
But we are already married.
Y'all don't need to be together.
If we're arguing all the time and we're already married, you don't think that that's worth going to counseling?
Depending on what the arguments are about.
Exactly.
If you're having little petty, stupid arguments every day, then
But
But if the arguments is constantly over the same the same certain thing, then yeah.
But what's one thing? What's petty to one person may not be petty to somebody else.
A disagreement.
Hold on. What's petty to one person may not be petty to someone else. And where we often fall short is we don't validate our partner's feelings. Even if we don't agree with them, it's still worth validating. Okay, I hear you. I understand where you're coming from. Or I can kind of see your point of view. You have to validate your partner. So
I agree with you, because I live by that.
If I'm not feeling like I'm getting validation, then again, resentment will set in. So there's multiple reasons why you could have issues or problems. And just because you start arguing all the time now doesn't mean that the whole relationship has been based on that. Because I agree with you, if your whole relationship you've been arguing, then that's a problem in itself.
Okay.
I can agree with that.
If you love a person, a disagreement is not always an argument.
I agree.
So that's what a lot of people get mixed up and out of whack about. Just because we don't agree, it mean I don't love you. It don't mean I want the worst for you. It don't mean that if every Monday I put gas in your car, I'm going to stop doing that now. If every Sunday you cook a dinner, now you start cooking dinner because we didn't agree a couple of days ago. Now that's a problem.
That's petty.
That's petty. That's petty, but a lot of time people think because we don't agree, I don't care. To me, that can go on with your son. Hey, son, I don't agree with how you move. It don't mean that I'm challenging you as a man because you're a grown man. It don't mean I want to fight. It don't mean I want to hurt you because you just don't agree with what I say, and I don't agree with what you're doing. But a lot of time, people think when people raise their voice, their expressions and all that, now people feel like, oh, they hate the person or they dislike the person.
It
doesn't mean that. It's just that we don't agree about this situation.
And when you try to tell them in a regular, normal voice or calm, they don't understand. It's like it don't click until I raise my voice and get loud. Now all of a sudden, now you hear me. All of a sudden, I shouldn't have to get to that level or that point for you to understand what I'm saying. It's
but you
don't argue. I don't like arguing.
I don't feel like you have to raise your voice or get to that level.
Sometimes you have to. I ain't gonna say it's necessary, but sometimes you have to, because sometimes y'all don't listen. Or if I'm trying to explain something, you hear it, but it's always I feel, or but
like
if I'm telling you this is what it is, it shouldn't be a but or I.
Like for instance,
I'm giving you the answer. If you ask me a question, I'm giving you the answer.
You want the guy.
Why question the answer or why try to justify the end?
Like what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
You said we want the guys to come over here and tell us. Okay, the guys come over here and tell you from our point of view, but the women that's at the show, it's like they're trying to correct or change what we're saying. So it's just like if y'all having an all-female show, just listen and let the women flow.
Do you feel like we are trying to correct you? Because there are several times when we do have talks. This is not the first time we've had conversations or talk. And there is, I won't say combative, but the camaraderie is, back to back or head to head or bumping heads, so to speak.
See,
That's constructive.
I think it's
everybody can voice their opinion, and at the end of the day, everybody leave happy and learn something from everyone. I don't feel like you should have to be, if you say, hey, I want the guys to tell us, whether you agree with it. That's just like if I asked a whole bunch of women, I got to accept their opinions. I'm not there to say, well, what did you do, why, or what was your upbringings and stuff. I just want to hear your point of view. Because, believe it or not, just what you tell me, if you tell me I get mad and I go upside his head.
And that know everything I need to know right there.
So, that's your point of view. Then I hear from the next person and the next person. And I put everything together and come up with a synopsis, an opinion, a hypothesis. I come up with some kind of idea about how the females might operate. Not saying all females are that way. Not saying all men are that way. Just the ones that I have talked to, male or female. I'll give you an example. Like, I heard a lady say, y'all guys are messed up. Y'all come to a woman's house empty-handed. She said, you can't come to my house empty-handed. She said, that's the way I was raised, and that's what I saw men do. So
that's because they was tricking on your mama.
You heard he said, that's from a man point of view. But at this day and time, like I tell my mate, it seems like I see a guy and a girl at the bus stop, no matter what the weather is, they just so happy. But here we are, we got 40 cars, a lot of money, and we miserable. And we can't stand each other. We can move how we want to move, do pretty much what we want to do, and we still not happy. And we got all the things that most people don't have, but say will make them happy. So to me, that falls back on a person is not happy with himself.
And I will agree with you 100%. That derives from inside yourself personally. So, but
a toxic relationship, if you know that if you feel that you are whole within yourself, and you see something toxic, is it really worth? I'm not going to talk about the counseling. Some things, if you really love a person and just some slight, and you think maybe a mediator or a third person can help resolve the issue, I agree with that. A neutral person. But some things is bigger than counseling. And to me, where I'm at in life, if we get that bad off, it's bad.
What bad off? Bad off to where you need counseling? Or?
Yes. That means it's really messed up.
I don't think so. Because there could be different variations. It doesn't have to be. So you're one to say, basically, what I hear you saying, just correct me, if you're not opposed to going to counseling if it's warranted. But to be warranted, it has to be something on the extreme side.
Yes, to me, we should be adults and be able to work through it.
But that will be idealistic, but it doesn't happen that way.
Well, to me, you really don't love the person.
And that's not true either.
To me, love don't hurt. Yeah. Love is kind, love is gentle, love is soft, love smell good. Love is everything good. Love is not bad.
And I agree with you 100%. However, if a person is so the love is an emotion or a feeling, correct?
Yes.
All right. So that comes from a person,
Action.
right?
Right.
Okay, but that person is hurt or damaged. So what it can love can also be what is the word that I want to use? Good God. Perception. It can be. Because depending on how I grew up, what I consider love may not be what you consider love. If I grew up and I was given a bunch of gifts and that's how I view love. That's my view of love.
Right.
So if I grew up looking at somebody getting beat up, and then next thing I see, ooh, I love you, and we still together, we gonna stay together, then that's what love looks like.
You grew up, saw somebody getting beat up. Now, before you meet John Doe, in your perception, in your mind, a man don't love you if he don't beat you. All right? That's something in you. It's not in the person you meet.
But that's what I've been trying to explain to you as far as where counseling comes in play. And I understand wait a minute. I understand that it's in me, right? But now I am dating this other person
who don't beat you.
And now you mad because he don't.
Exactly. So and it is. Well, I won't say. I prefer not to say it's stupid because that person has issues or problems and they need help to understand whether or not they seek it, whether or not they go get it. That's totally them. But then. So let's reverse it. Okay, so I'm in a relationship, right? I'm not used to seeing people argue, fuss, fight, I grew up in a household where the mother and father was, healthy household. Now I'm dating someone and they are abusive. So it might not be physical, it's verbal. You telling me I don't know how to do this, I can't do that, I'll never be able to do this. And we are not just in a relationship, we are married. We're not just casually dating.
But you stayed for a reason. Other than that,
we are married.
You could leave the first time you do it.
You're right, you can. So at that point, not only is it something going on with that person, but I feel like it's something going on with me because I stayed.
Right, definitely.
So
it's a choice.
That's where, again,
that's the toxic.
Exactly.
You know when you know you should leave, and you have the reason to leave, but you're still choosing to stay because you're still seeing the quote unquote good or what you want to believe is good in that person.
It might not be that. It might not have anything. Your reason for staying might not have anything to do with that person, but everything with what's inside you.
Right.
I've been, and I'm speaking on personal experience. I've been in a situation very similar to that, and I stayed. But my reason for staying wasn't because of the man. It was because of deficiencies that I thought were in me. So I had to go to counseling, but we went to counseling together. Although us going to counseling goes back to what you said, it wasn't honest on both parties' part. So, however, it didn't matter to me whether or not it was honest on his part or not. I went with the right intentions, and with me going for the right intentions, it let me know everything I needed to know.
Right.
So I didn't go just for him. I went for me. Just like I always say, forgiveness is not for the person who does something or who you're mad. That the forgiveness is for you, so you can move on with your life. So you don't be holding stuff in. So that's why I say that, I understand what you're saying as far as counseling, but counseling is not just for extreme to the left or to the right. It doesn't have to be something extreme. If anytime that we're having a issue and we're not able to see eye to eye, even if you say, okay, we're going to table it, and then that same problem keeps coming up, it doesn't mean that the relationship is bad, right?
I mean, you don't respect me.
No, it doesn't mean that I don't respect you. That's not. We have hit a bump in the road.
And you
because
keep doing the same thing.
No, listen
over
to
and over again.
the same argument, the same situation. It's
That
not
means the same thing is keep happening for us to have that same
but
conversation.
you
and
don't.
argument.
It doesn't have to be about a level of disrespect, because you're a person and I'm a person. We have you have your own individual mind, and I have my own individual mind, but we're trying to come together to build and be one, right? So when you are two individual people and you grew up, I didn't raise you, you didn't raise me, so I'm gonna have my beliefs, you're gonna have your beliefs, but still we're still trying to come together. So it's unrealistic to say that you're gonna be in la la land and you're never gonna hit a bump in the road. But at some point in time, there may be a issue that may be a bump in the road that you can't resolve yourselves, and that's where counseling would be beneficial. That's all I'm saying.
I think a lot of time people let stuff linger.
That's true too.
And also, if you know your mate and there's something about them that bothers you, you should address it. And if you see that's the normal flow for them, me personally, this is my answer this is my counseling. I pray about my situation. And I ask God, show me which way to go and how to move. That's how I move.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, if you know your mate does something that irks you to where you feel like y'all should go to counseling. Because like Dominique said, what if the person don't know what they're doing is that way? Now, to me, if a person know what they're doing, it's hurting you, and they choose to do it, it's past counseling. You don't need to be with that person.
So let me ask you this then, and Dominique, what's your opinion on this? If you're in a relationship and someone says, and you're telling that person over and over, hey, I don't like what you're doing, that's making me feel a certain type of way. I don't like that. So that's you stressing. You don't agree with the treatment, right?
At that point, that's when me personally, that's when I feel like you don't respect me.
Okay.
Because if I'm voicing my opinion on, like, all right, if when I just on a daily just regular conversation, and I just so happen to use the B word,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not directly talking to you, but that's just my lingo,
Mm-hmm.
and you tell me, hey, don't call women that. I don't like you saying that. But no matter how many times you done told me that, I constantly keep doing it. I keep saying it at you in conversation while we're out and about. You wouldn't think that there's no level of respect there if you constantly keep having to say the same thing.
Absolutely, I agree.
And so to me,
Absolutely.
if a person is doing something like that, that's not the person for you.
You don't respect me because if I say something and okay, cool, it happened, boom, it might happen maybe one more time. But if this done happen 5, 6, 7, bro, you don't respect me. You can't.
So then, what to me, those are extremes. To me, that's an example of extreme.
That's because to me that's not extreme. To me,
If you tell somebody, you don't. So you all have. Well, let me say me. I have deal breakers. I have set things. So when me and my husband first started dating, I had taken the time to understand Kim at this age, at this age stage in life. I know what I want. I know what goals I'm trying to keep and where I'm trying to go. So even within the first, once we've both sat down and said, okay, yeah, we're gonna date seriously, just exclusively. then we started discussing different things. I started discussing my deal breakers and what those things were, what I considered was just totally off limits, right? So if it's a deal breaker, then yeah, you can't go back from that. It's so for me, the things that you're saying as far as the disrespect, that's a deal breaker.
Okay, but you also chose a man that used the word, the B word.
Well, how about it? I didn't know that he used the B word.
Well, hold. Pause for a minute. Pause for a minute. All right, if you meet a gambler, so I'm just give you an example. I'm giving more real life situation. If me and you dating, and I'm a gambler, a big gambler,
You gonna know I'm a gambler.
you gonna know I'm a
You
gambler.
gonna know. Straight up.
It just so happened you met me when I hit a lick. All right, and I'm still chasing that lick. We're gonna go out tonight. We're gonna have a good time. But tomorrow, babe, I got to get back to it. And it might linger over into in the morning. And then you be like, where were you at, baby? I was getting to it. You know what I mean?
But I'm not from the gambling world, so
That could be a deal breaker, baby. Listen to me. And then now you're like, you're looking at the banking account. You're like, okay, we're doing good. Then say car need tires on the car. You had a blowout on the car or something like a hot water heater go out at the house. You go in the banking account. You don't sit down and write out the bills for the month. You're like, hold up. You wrote out all the bills because you know what money was in there.
Was.
And then all of a sudden you get a thing overdrawing charge. And you go say, baby, what? I think somebody done broke into the account or something like that. Oh no, baby, I had to pay. Oh boy, I owed them. You like, hey, you need to quit that gambling because it ain't working. You let it go. Next week, he hit a lick. Put the money back. Everything flow. 45 days, 2 months, and everything. Then next thing you know, something else happened. It set everything back. Now he is who he is.
true.
But for you, you're a person that's structured about bills and everything. Don't play with the money. I don't care about you gambling, but when your gambling affects the household, there's a problem. Now you taking me down this rabbit hole. I can't go in the rabbit hole with you. So when you go on with your life, I'm stuck, jacked up. So to me, most men, if you're a gambler, get high, smoke weed, drink, a womanizer, a player, whatever you want to call him, all the things that can be a pet peeve or bother you in a relationship,
know what he is.
he gonna show you. He gonna show, because a man, it's hard for men to camouflage who they are. Now, one thing I can say about the
Especially if he like you.
one thing I can say about women, like one thing I can say about women,
to do nothing but be himself. Especially,
like you never,
spending a lot
you
of
never
time
heard.
with
It depends. It
I
depends.
never heard a man say he outgrowed his woman. I have heard women say they outgrowed their man.
Yeah,
Because the day I met you, it's still the same love and the same compassion. Now, I have seen women meet a guy and they be all bubbly and they grow apart. And the guy be like, well, what happened?
I fell out of love.
I fell out of love. We're not moving in the same direction.
I've heard.
I never heard a guy say
I have.
he grew out of love with his woman.
I've heard a guy say that they grew apart.
And what scenario did he use that terminology?
She got something good to say. I see it in her face.
Just what do you mean? What scenario? He said that they grew apart. They were dating.
Now I have heard men say, like I say, hey man, what happened to that girl you with? Man, you been with Tina 5, 6 years, 10 years. What Tina at?
I'm gonna tell you the real answer.
What's
his response? I'm gonna tell you the real answer.
In a
You gonna tell me if I'm lying or not?
Read that.
In an open forum. In an open forum, I have heard
No,
men.
what?
I read it.
Yeah.
Oh, they cheat and get with their side chick or their secretary.
Oh, the man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
That could go both ways with men and women.
But they can go. But so a lot of time, men, when they use that terminology, we grew apart, they're ashamed to say,
My bitch,
I messed
she
up.
cheated on me.
oh, no.
She did something. We grew apart. She
man,
left.
no. He said that's his version. Most men I don't see it, they
She
scared to
fucked
say,
up.
man, I messed up. Because they ego, they in around the boys and whatever organization they might be a part of.
Not me and mine.
No, well, I'm just thinking on the scenarios that I know of personally, which is not my story to tell, so I don't tell other people business. However, the people that I know that have been with their girl, ride or die down, whatever, and then they say that they grew apart. It wasn't. It wasn't one of those scenarios. It wasn't where they were scared to say, I messed up, I cheated, I did this, I did that.
No, they're not going to say they was cheated or they scared to say. But that's a more easier answer to stop people from asking you 1,000 questions. You know, like say for instance, you notice if you tell somebody something good, the conversation don't go that far. But if you tell somebody something bad, well, what happened? Is it like, man,
Domino effect.
man, I got locked up last night. What you do? Where were you? All that. But if you say, hey, man, let me show you how to invest this, and in 3 weeks, you'll have this. The average person, most people gonna say, man, let me get back with you. The conversation doesn't go long, but if you telling somebody something negative, oh, they'll sit and listen all day.
That's true.
And men, like I said, to show to keep clean face, man, old girl just parted away. We grew apart. You know, the kids grown. You know, ain't nobody in the house but us, and we really don't like each other. But since we had the kids, you know, we was all concentrating on the kids, and everybody see, oh, your daughter's successfully married, your son married, you know, they got careers and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you an example. A friend of mine who I grew up with, his mama was like Miss Parker from Friday. Everybody in the neighborhood, his mama was the prettiest woman in the neighborhood. His mama was the prettiest woman on the west side to us.
Okay.
Everybody used to get out of the school bus at their house. His mama gonna bring up popsicles and stuff like that. We're gonna help her. And if she ain't there, we're gonna stand at her yard till she come outside or she get out from work. So the daddy say, hey man, y'all little jokers get out around my yard before I kill y'all. So now we like 20-something years old. The daddy said, hey boys, come here. He said, you know y'all been around a long time. We're like, yeah, Pop. He was like, I want y'all to be my best man in me and mama wedding. I was like, oh, y'all renewing y'all vows. They're like, no, we never been married. So we're like, wait a minute. All this time you running us away from around here and that ain't your wife? We could have been had her like that. He said, now I still got that same old gun that I shoot you with, right? Then so, he said, now we get married, so I want all y'all to be in the wedding and everything. He said, I was like, what about your boy that you play golf? And he said, I don't want none of them knuckleheads. Y'all my crew. So we was in the wedding. Everybody was, all the girls from the neighborhood, everything. Well, next thing we know, they get married for a year, and they got a divorce. Everybody mad. Get what the answer was. We grew apart.
Sometimes putting a title on stuff, I ain't gonna say 100% of the time, but sometimes putting a title on certain situations tend to make stuff go south. Sometimes. I ain't saying
like
all
a
the time, but
cliche.
sometimes. Someone called BS, but I'm just saying sometimes. Because think about it, like you just said, they were together 15, 20 years, boyfriend and girlfriend, nothing wrong. As soon as they got married, put that real title on there, they divorced in a year.
No, so I'm just gonna say this: there was problems already there for them to get a divorce. You don't be together for 15 years dating and everything's smooth, and then you all of a sudden get a divorce once you get married. So we can continue this. that is just that is just no.
I'm gonna say this: a lot of times people try to pattern their relationship after other people who they don't know what's going on in the house.
That's true. My thing is, and I'm gonna say this, and then we got to go. I'm not worried about if the grass is greener on the other side. I'm finna fertilize and water my grass and pay attention, weed, whatever I got to put in my yard, and my grass gonna be just as green or greener. So
it's only green where you water it.
And that's it. I'm nurturing my own yard. I ain't got time to be worried about what's going on in somebody else's. So that's it for tonight, guys. I thank everybody so much for tuning in with us. We have to cut it short, sweet and short. But thank you so much for watching Life with Kimmie. Again, you can catch us on Caribbeanlifetv, at Live 365 app. Also at IG, HILL_Kimmie, KIMMIE, and also Instagram at Lifing_Kimmie. Thank you so much and have a wonderful night.
Woo! See y'all next time.
Nice,